welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotzben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yeah.
And Rose.
Hi.
I am the longtime fan of Ace Attorney.
Wow.
And Rose
Wow,
and Tiago
that's sad.
and
That's so
Dessy
depressing.
are the newcomers this time around.
Can I?
We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series near and dear to us. Yes, Tiago?
Weirdly, you know what? I'll let you do the intro and then I'll step in.
Okay. Well, today we've all played Case 1 of Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, titled Turnabout Countdown. Would you like me to go into the summary first, or did you want to talk?
Just a really quick side note, just to establish the timeline. I actually already played through this case once before.
Oh, okay.
This is the first Ace Attorney game I ever bought back in like 2016. I played through this case and then just stopped playing.
Interesting.
So I'm not a newcomer to this one.
So
This
you played
grab
this
you?
and went,
This case.
This case did not grab me. Well, because I didn't have any context. I don't know who the fuck
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what it would have felt like to play this and be like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, this game is the fifth game in the series. It is the latest not the latest, but it is was the next mainline game in the series after Apollo Justice, because everything that we've been playing up until this point, in this gap between Apollo Justice, was spin-offs. The Ace Attorney Investigations 1 and 2, and then Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Those were all spin-off games, and we finally, after several years, got a new mainline game. This came out in July 2013 in Japan, and then it came out in October the same year in America. Now, in America, it only came out digitally because the Ace Attorney series was not doing so hot at the time, and Capcom did not think that a full physical release would do well for them. But they still localized it, and they did bring it out on the eShop on the Nintendo 3DS here in America. So the other big change for the series is that Shu Takumi was at the time here busy producing and working on Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. And as a result, he was not here to work on this mainline game. He had kind of done his bit with Apollo Justice and was like, no, I'm done with the series. And so instead, Takeshi Yamazaki, who we know as the lead creator and writer on the Ace Attorney Investigations duology, he takes over here at this point. So now the series kind of is now being shepherded under his decisions. He's kind of the main guy deciding what happens to characters and the scenarios and all that stuff. And Motohide Ishiro, who is the producer here, he's the guy who basically kind of did a lot of work on the series as it came into the DS ports after the original Game Boy Advance versions. They all got ported to the DS and got the extra content and stuff like that, and were re-released in America. That was like when Ishiro took over kind of as producer, and so he has been producing Ace Attorney Investigations and Investigations 2, and so he also then is like, okay, let's keep the Ace Attorney series going. I'm going to work with Yamazaki, and we're going to keep going here. And again, also Noriyuki Iwadare comes over from Ace Attorney Investigations as well, and starts doing music here. He did music for Ace Attorney 3, I believe it is as well. So we've had three different musicians, working on Ace Attorney by this point already. So it's not really, that big of a surprise. But yeah, that's kind of like the main creative crew. I guess, and character design as well. Character design now is Tatsuro Iwamoto is not on character design anymore. Instead, now we have Takuro Fuse, who, let me look real fast just to make sure. Yeah, he was lead character designer for this one and then the next one, but he did not have any other experience with the Ace Attorney series in like a leadership position aside from doing some additional art on Investigations 2. So he worked a little bit on that one on some side stuff and then kind of moved up to character designer here. So
who is the character designer for Apollo Justice?
That was Iwamoto.
Okay.
So yeah. So he was kind of a big character designer for most of the series up until this point. So yeah, so that's kind of the setup. So basically a lot of Investigations staff came over here, right?
They
They worked on the
investigations.
and that might even be a theme here, is that it feels I don't know, it feels like investigations to me in some of the writing and the structure of the game, but we can get into that later. That's not necessary to delve into right now, because I guess I should get to the summary. Last bit of prep before I do summary. I know I made a joke about this at the very start, but Dessy is also a newcomer. She did not play this game when it came out, and has not played it, so this is all fresh to her as well.
Yes, welcome.
So I guess I'm the
welcome.
Yeah, I'm the.
Come on over here, champ. We don't know what's going on.
Our table.
Come to our table.
What year did this game come out?
2013.
Okay, so this was not too long after we moved out
Right.
together.
Yeah, I was still working at Japanator at the time when this came out. So I was kind of covering the release of this one and Spirit of Justice. I was actually able to review Spirit of Justice for Japanator when I worked there, covering anime and manga and Japanese video games. So I was able to review Spirit of Justice, which is the next one after this. But this one was reviewed by my coworker at the time, Tim Sheehy, and I remember him being mostly positive on it. So we will see how this shakes out. But yeah, I am the lone shepherd now, guiding you through this Ace Attorney wilderness. So we are now
You and Game FAQs.
Game FAQ.
Yep.
Shout out to Game FAQs. Spoiler free walkthrough for when you're really fucking stuck.
So Ben is Phoenix Wright. I'm Apollo Justice. Who wants to be?
Wait, why do you get to be Apollo?
Okay, do you want to be Apollo?
Because that one fan made that sick animation, made him Apollo.
Okay.
Assigned Apollo by fan animation.
I'll take it. Do you want to be Athena or do you want to be Trudy? Trudy?
No, I'm Trucy. I like Trucy.
You like Trucy? Okay, well.
Very good choice.
Rose, you're Athena.
I'm Francisca.
Just ignoring the assignment.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Fine, I'll be Athena.
For the Right Anything Agency. That's where we are, the Right Anything Agency.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
So, summary time.
Roxy's Charlie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I actually have a plant in my home that I'm not going to use the word stole because I didn't steal it. But my previous office job, when we broke down the office, and the plant is Charlie Jr., and I took it home with me. So I do have an office plant named Charlie now.
God, I forgot.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's doing great. It's a monster. It's eating my exercise bike. I gotta put it back.
No, he's just a little hungry. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It is 2027, roughly 1 year after the events of Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, and things begin explosively. A bomb has been set off in the courtroom, killing a detective named Candace Arm. Through an anime cutscene by Bones Studio, no less, at the start of the game, we're introduced to Athena Sykes, a young new attorney working at the Right Anything Agency, along with Apollo Justice and the newly rebarred Phoenix Wright. Athena and Apollo meet up at the courthouse as Apollo is planning to defend Juniper Woods from accusations that she blew up the bomb. However, Apollo's wounds from the bombing reopen and he collapses, leaving Athena no choice but to take over the case.
Oh, poor boy.
She begins defending her childhood friend, Juniper, from the rookie humiliator, Gasp in Pain, and the true killer we saw in the opening, a bomb disposal police officer, Ted Tonate. Athena does her best to defend Junie until she has some childhood trauma flashbacks that render her nearly speechless. Thankfully, Phoenix Wright arrives to take over, and the two begin to dismantle the case together. Phoenix then begins by requesting a recess, and during the break, Apollo Justice, who opted to walk to the site of the bombing instead of seeking medical attention, was attacked by an unseen stranger who was definitely not Ted Tonate. Due to the incident, the trial resumes the following day. While Apollo recuperates in the hospital, Athena and Phoenix, defend Juniper, in part by utilizing Athena's powers of emotion detection and her robotic assistant Widget's program called Mood Matrix. They prove that they prove that the real killer was Ted Tonate, who then threatens to blow up the courtroom again. The entire gallery empties in a panic, leaving only Phoenix, Athena, the judge, and Ted. Even Payne ran. Phoenix calls his bluff and says that the bomb Ted holds isn't real. Timer counts down, Ted melts down, and the bomb is proven fake. Juniper arrives with the rest of the crew and celebrates, but after the three lawyers return to the right office, Apollo declares ominously that he's taking a leave of absence. There's something I need to settle on my own. And Athena looks on and goes, Apollo, ever since you put on that jacket, you've changed. So yeah, that's case one.
He's just going on vacation, girl. Leave him alone.
I love Apollo in the opening cutscene by Bone Studio because he's staring at the moon, and I'm like, he's about to use a psycho eye attack on the moon.
He's looking.
He's looking to see.
We get some very dramatic like animation for this because Apollo is standing in the middle of this
like a
completely rubble reduced courtroom, and he's got this cool blue like bluish purple jacket like on his shoulders, but he doesn't have his arms through the sleeves, right? So it's cool as hell, right?
Yeah.
He's got it just draped over his shoulders and it's billowing in the wind, and he's got bandages all over him because he was damaged in this explosion, and he looks up at the moon with his hand in a fist like he's determined to do something,
about the moon.
So Punished Venom good. Apollo.
It's very fun. Punished Apollo is a very fun like costume change. I really like it.
Oh yeah, it's sick as hell.
He doesn't deserve this.
I mean, honestly, listen, I love the trope of like really kind-hearted character goes fucking sicko mode, you know what I mean? And he is going sicko mode right now. He's about to do something.
I don't know if he's sicko mode.
He looks sicko mode because he looks ill.
Okay.
He looks like he's injured.
I mean, you slap bandages on anybody.
They all go sicko mode.
Yeah, but they gave him enough bandage that his bandage can like flow in the wind like a
yeah, of course.
Like
you gotta do
fucking
that.
Ryu from Street Fighter.
He's also
Streets.
like indestructible too. Like
good thing I'm indestructible.
He got knocked out and lost his memory.
Should have used a fire
extinguisher. He did not lose his memory. He kept his memory because he did not get hit in the head with a fire extinguisher.
There is literally a line in the courtroom dialogue where someone says, Apollo forgot what the assailant looked like because he was hit in the head, and Phoenix goes, yeah, I can relate to that.
Yep.
I mean, if you get a concussion, you usually don't remember, like, in a couple of seconds leading up to
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still remembers his name and how to do his fucking job.
He's not like Phoenix forgot his name. Did he?
Phoenix forgot a lot of stuff.
I think he did.
Oh.
He did for like a brief period of time.
He forgot who Maya was. Hey, where's Maya?
It's a scale, right? You got a rock. A rock just makes you forget the last like minute or so.
Yeah.
So you forget your assailant. But once you scale all the way up to a fire extinguisher, that's got more.
A bomb is not
fire
on the same
extinguisher
level
to
as a fire
it.
extinguisher.
There's the rock to fire extinguisher scale. And
right.
you have to determine where the inanimate object. Rose, to answer your mind question, I don't fucking know. Where was she during Apollo Justice?
Yeah, where's Maya?
She's gotta be on like a world trip or some shit for the fucking Faye family. She's gotta be solving ghost mysteries in Europe or some shit.
She better be.
I would.
Where does everybody go when we don't know where they are? They go to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the farm for Ace Attorney. It's just like, where'd they go? Oh, Europe, maybe.
Yeah.
And they'll be back later. Don't worry about it.
It makes sense for Miles because he is getting in a private jet and like flying to Paris for like breakfast, like for sure.
I just want to real quick say I'm so glad to be back in the courtroom. I feel like a wrestler who retired but now he's back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm.
Yeah, it's refreshing to be back.
It related to that. How do you feel about Phoenix's return? Because we get a segment where we're playing as Athena at the start here, but then halfway through the case, then Phoenix is like, Apollo called and said you need some help, so I showed up, and he gets like a anime intro, right, of him opening the door, and it's all light behind him beaming out, and he's like, I'm back, and he like puts his coat on dramatically, and he pins his button to his jacket, and he puts a little locket. He's got a costume change now, right?
Yeah.
So he's got a little locket in his pocket with Trucy's picture in it, and he's got an extra like light blue vest underneath his regular blue jacket. And now he's got a little spike that hangs down over his forehead in his hair,
Yeah. He had a
He's got like a whole character upgrade kind of thing for his return.
I think it looks nice, if I'm honest.
He's Phoenix the Blue now. I return to you at the turn of the tide.
Yeah.
He has a new
He
voice
looks good.
actor. It's different. I know, I can feel it in my bones that this is a different voice actor, and I don't know who it is, but it's someone who's done voices before. Like, this sounds like an anime voice actor.
I definitely, given that there are anime cutscenes now, that makes a lot of sense.
I googled it, and I know who it is now. It's Sam Riegel, also known as one of the motherfuckers from Critical Role. So
yeah, there you go.
Oh, fun fact: he voiced Furio Tigre in the anime adaptation. That's really funny.
Oh, that's cute, actually.
That's
really
correct,
cute.
Yeah. I remember the voice actor. I was just like, I've heard this motherfucker before. The objection is different. It's a different objection.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know, but you know what? We're here now. We can't deal with that. I can't go back to 2013.
Phoenix has evolved finally into Mia.
Mia? You think he's gonna die soon?
No.
Any
I
second
mean,
now.
like
just the mentorship.
yeah,
role.
mentorship. Yeah, he's finally on top.
Phoenix held Mia once like La Pieta when she died, so now someone's gonna have to hold Phoenix like La Pieta when he dies.
Well, somebody's got to do
It's
it.
gonna be Athena,
well,
Apollo, or
My only
Percy.
thing on that is that there are other Ace Attorney games, so
That's crazy. I can't believe he comes back from the dead. Should we talk about the?
So we meet a couple characters right at the start, here as well. Anybody have any strong feelings about Juniper Woods, the person we're defending here?
Pokemon
we
trainer.
learn she looks like a Pokemon trainer.
She is a fucking
Yeah.
Pokemon. She absolutely has like an Oddish, a Sunflora.
Yeah, she looks cute.
yeah.
She's a Pokemon trainer.
She's a childhood friend of Athena's apparently, so they call each other like cute nicknames. And she lives up apparently on a mountain, like all by herself with her grandmother or something. It's just the two of them,
Why
and
did-
so she's back coming down to like, she's like, oh, I'm down in civilization for a little bit, It's like there's no way she blew up a bomb.
She is like the Maya to Athena's Phoenix, right? Right? Like where you have like an out of town bumpkin come in and get accused of murder.
Mm-hmm.
I like Athena a
I
lot.
think it's.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say, I do like how wild it is that they just like grabbed the nearest girl and were like, "You did this."
They had some sort of proof, even though it was like the worst proof possible. And it's
It was the
barely,
plushie
barely
proof,
tenuous.
right?
Barely
It was
tenuous.
very,
uh,
and that's kind of it's plushie related because she has these two. It's an elephant and a hippo.
bum
if I'm
rap,
ever accused of a crime, it would be plushie related.
bum rap Rhynie, and
Or rhino, yeah, sorry, bum rap Rhynie and phony Fanty.
yeah,
That these are not gonna catch on.
they're not the blue badger.
They're not the blue badger. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
So
would-
we already have a mascot.
I would love
And it's
a
the
bum rap
badger.
Rhynie plushie.
It's a very funny name, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Bum rap Rhynie comes off the tongue easily. It's very funny.
Athena is here and she has powers, and it's weird that she has powers, right?
I mean,
she's got
Apollo
super
has
hearing.
powers.
Here's the thing. So Athena's power is based that she has really good hearing. She can listen to the cries of the heart. And we're getting really close to just having all five senses be their own separate power, right? We've got sight, we've got
They're not actually
hearing.
powers; they're just people that are good at listening.
I
Yeah,
mean, we
I
have the
would
three.
be
We have
okay
the
with
three
that.
monkeys. We have the three monkeys already, right?
Oh.
Because that's Phoenix, Apollo, and Athena.
Well, what's Phoenix's then? Talking?
He's because we have the see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. Because Phoenix just bumbles his way through everything and bluffs all the time.
Phoenix do just be talking out his ass.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I think that's what the kind of the thing we're doing here, right? Because they even
Okay.
make the joke earlier about, I think Phoenix himself says something like, calls all three of them monkeys.
Oh yeah, they
there's
do
a
get
line.
called
yeah.
monkeys. Yeah, red,
I
yellow.
was
blue.
wondering why they kept pushing that joke.
Yeah. So I think that's what we're doing here is the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil bit with the three of them. Because this is like our triangle of attorneys for this law office,
I just wanted to get to,
and they cover all the senses.
I just wanted to get to the point where we have an attorney who can taste the lies out of somebody. So he just like
Yeah.
licks the fucking defendant.
Yeah.
Like in the old
Yeah.
King's Quest games where you could lick stuff and the game would like tell you not to.
Yeah.
It would be like, don't eat that dipshit.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't eat that. I like Athena's design. I think the only thing that like kind of gets me about her is the fact that like she has this hair swoop, and the hair swoop goes into different positions based on her mood. I don't know, just a little too anime-esque for me. I don't know why. For some reason, that gets me. I look at
She's
it.
too anime for this anime game.
It's too anime for this anime game. You're right.
I think she is very cute looking.
Yeah, I don't mind Athena. I do think that she's like maybe 5 or 10% a little anime. You know, more anime than a lot of the characters, right? It's not much. It's
she's
just
got
barely.
like almost Yu-Gi-Oh hair kind of.
Maybe that's why I like. No, it needs to be way stupider to be Yu-Gi-Oh hair.
I know, but she's like she's getting close to the line. Like there's like anime stuff going on with the silly faces and stuff like that, but then she's got that hair. Like Phoenix's hair was goofy, but it's not that goofy. Apollo's hair is silly, but it's not that silly.
You know what?
We've seen some really deranged hair in this game, though.
Yeah, true.
It's true.
I think. Ben, you kind of nailed it with the fact that she's like 10% to anime, right? Because like when she goes into her angry sprite, her eyes turn white like an anime character, and I'm like, Maya never did that. Where's Maya? Where's
This isn't my Maya.
Well, what I was thinking along the lines of like, wow, I love her design. She's very cute. I don't care for some of her animations and expressions. There are several of them that make me just go, ew. I don't want to look at it. I want to close my eyes.
Which animation disgusts you?
There's a shocked one that she does a couple of times in the very beginning of this case, where she like puts her hands on her face and like, I don't like it. If you go back and look at it, you might you might feel the same way. But
I'm gonna need to, because I can't. None of them made that much of an impression on me. You know
that was the one where I was like, oh, yuck.
It almost felt like they were trying to be like Maya-esque with some of her animations, and they just don't fit with her.
Yeah, because I like that she's spunky. I like her like yellow and blue color scheme. I don't care for the little widget thing that like
speaks
repeats
her thoughts
stuff
or
out loud. Like,
yeah.
No. Again, we already have a mascot. It's Blue Badger.
Yeah, that almost felt like they were like, oh, all the goofy stuff that Phoenix said to himself that people would have been like, what the fuck are you thinking? But now they're like, let's just say it out loud.
Yeah,
we don't need that. She's fine as is.
Yeah.
I will say that, and maybe this is the right time to bring this up because I brought it up on the Let's Play as well. This is maybe not like a huge criticism, right? But her powers are essentially emotions, right? Because she can sense the strength of like the feeling of somebody's heart through hearing. So like, is she sensing it kind of in the tone of their voice, the tenor, the way that they are talking, right? Something kind of along that way. And Widget, her little computer that hangs on a necklace around her neck, it can like tune out the noise, right? And help eliminate the noise so you can get to the exact like feeling that somebody's feeling when they're saying their line. And so when you use her mechanic, right, you are basically trying to figure out, well, why is somebody feeling happy when they're talking about something that should have been traumatic to them, right? Is kind of like the first thing that happens. Because Junie says, oh man, I was about to have rocks fall on me when the courtroom exploded, right? But she's a little bit happy when she says this. And you're like, well, why are you happy? And it's because Apollo rushed to her defense and saved her, right? And pushed her out of the way and let the rubble fall on top of him.
Finally, somebody with some fucking taste.
And so she's of course got a crush on Apollo because of this now. So there's that bit, right? And you tune that out and you figure out why she would have felt happy, and you start to figure out once you like eliminate all the noise and all the quote unquote incorrect emotions that you would be expecting from her testimony, then you can go into regular testimony and then present an evidence and break the contradiction. So what do we feel about the new female character's powers basically just being emotions? Is that like, I don't know if I was reading too much into it or not,
I mean, I didn't notice that as a problem per se.
Yeah, me neither, man.
Because she seems like a very like emotive character, so I was like, oh, she's emotional, so her power is emotions. I didn't really associate it with like she's a
My brain was like, oh, this is the new mechanic.
Yeah.
Right.
She's just a visualizer, basically.
She is literally just like one of those iTunes visualizers for music. So
she's got a Tamagotchi around her neck.
Her ability, low key, is kind of funny that it just does look like the Super Princess Peach emotion screen.
That's kind of like what made it like click a little bit in my brain at first. And like I said, I've played this game before. I don't really recall this being like a huge thing where somebody's like, watch your emotions. You got to keep yourself in control. It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
I was just curious if we felt any strong way about it.
Yeah, like looking into it like more deeply, like other than just right now, because this is the first time we're playing through it, surface level, like looking at it, I can see why it would be a little annoying. And I feel like, critical part of me would be like, really? But it wasn't something I was paying attention to, I think, because this is still just brand new.
Yeah, I don't suspect that has any like malicious or
I don't think that was the case, but like as all things with women in video games, there's always
I'm not out here saying Yamazaki hates women and he thinks they're all emotional or anything like that. Don't worry.
Women though, if you really think about it.
But I was just, like I said, it's just like a subconscious thing, right? That can sometimes permeate a production, right? People just nobody sits down and goes, maybe we should like tweak this a little bit by how it's portrayed.
Yeah, as a female presenting person, I have spent many a year and have many a complaint about women in video games, and that for whatever reason wasn't something I did not have a knee-jerk reaction to this one in the same way that I did with some other stuff in other games,
What?
Like, let me tell you, I'm very fond of like the spunky, energetic female character, like anime trope. Like, I like that character trope. So I'm fine with Athena, and I really I like the ways that they try to integrate her into the overall story in this one. If all my memories are correct anyway. I like all that, right? So I'm still positive on her and everything. So, but like I said, I just wanted to open it to the floor is all.
Is that a complaint that people have, or is that just like
No, it's not a common complaint at all.
Well,
so it was just something I thought of while I was playing through the game a second time here. That's all.
It does make me think about...
Yeah, it's like, what is the thing that you say during your opening? New insights or whatever?
Yeah.
The premise of the podcast.
Yeah.
I just want to reevaluate sometimes in my own biases. That's all. Just like, was there something here that I didn't notice the first time? That's all.
It does weirdly enough, this little side tangent. This does remind me of the like initial character designs for Mulder and Scully in the X-Files, because when they were first created, the creator went on to say that like, I specifically wanted to make Scully the analytical one and Mulder the emotional one because I want to reverse the trope of the emotional woman versus the logical man.
Right.
So like there have been like tropes where like, ooh, women emotional, yada yada.
I think it works fine because
they get that, but then he's so fucking weird. He's not even emotional.
Dude, Mulder wants to get Alien pregnant. That's his whole thing. So
all right,
I
think it's fine
now we gotta move on
because Phoenix and Apollo are also like very, especially Phoenix, like very openly emotional and all that.
Right.
So it doesn't feel it doesn't feel weird to me.
Exactly.
Why my headcanon for why Athena has like a video game like mechanic for her thing is that she tried to present like analytical psychology to Phoenix, right? And Phoenix is like, I don't get it. And she goes, okay, so look at the pretty colors, right?
Gotta baby this down.
Yeah, look at the colors.
Yeah.
Look at the pretty colors, yeah.
I mean, the UI is so easy for you, boss.
It's literally Simon fucking says. You can't fuck up.
You can't make
getting some investigation, Miles Edgeworth investigations, like Little Thief energy from this.
True.
Okay, hopefully it's not as overpowered because Little Thief was busted. That did not belong in this game
the
world.
Phoenix
That's how
right
strong
power
it was.
leveling.
That was out.
This basically just adds an extra step before you go into the regular testimony, right?
Yeah.
This is just like, they're noisy, right? There's all kinds of chaos going on with them. Let's clear all that out before we go into the regular testimony. So it's just like narrowing down on their actual emotions and figuring out what those would mean for what they're saying, right? And once you clear all that out and you go, okay, this is their happy statement, this is their negative statement, and you've made everything clear, sometimes that unlocks new statements, new testimony, and then you go into the testimony and you can present evidence.
Yeah.
So you do that mainly just for Junie here, because Ted, the actual bomber, he's just wacky all the time.
He's
and
so
types
guilty.
into his he types into his little
fucking
ARM
text to
computer.
speech.
Yeah, does his text to speech because he feels that that's more efficient than talking.
Can you actually
Definitely
type
not,
faster
buddy.
than you can talk?
He's got a very funny animation in which he dismantles this test bomb. Right? that he
You mean
has
the
in his hand.
GameCube?
Yeah, it's
a GameCube. What was the name of the victim again? I can't remember.
Can disarm.
Candy's nuts finger.
Yeah.
All right,
yep.
Please cut that or censor it. Censor that statement. Censor my statement, but keep yours.
Just have a really long bleep. It'll be great.
But keep yours.
I'm not editing that.
Yeah. So what happens is we dismantle Ted's testimony because Ted literally said, "Can you dismantle this case?" And I was like, "Okay, man. Weird that you're negging the attorney here."
It's the first case.
Buddy.
He's got to be obvious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they show him in the opening cutscene as always.
I really like the 3D models in this game. Phoenix looks different than when he did in Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, it's a new model here.
There's
because they were being developed essentially at the same time, right? So it is two different models, right? Because they're being made by different groups of people, different studios. So they took a different approach for how to execute a 3D Phoenix Wright.
When he goes into his like stressed out sad face, he looks like he has a square jaw, and it's the most goonish Phoenix Wright has ever looked, and I think that's really funny. He looks like he's supposed to be like, "Oh, boss, I fucked up."
I like that they're doing a little camera work.
Yeah.
With the 3D. I definitely feel like it's not quite as like advanced and polished as it was in Layton versus Phoenix Wright, because they're being made at the same time, so like they're probably not talking to each other or anything, but like I still definitely see like the start of like some fun like zooms and spins and stuff that could begin happening in the future.
Yeah, for the witness testimony when they have the like text show up, and it's so good. I like the text.
Yeah,
I like text and words on pages.
All right, well now I truly feel something.
No, they start to like play around a little bit with it because they're like, oh, now that we have a fully modeled 3D courtroom and all these characters, we can just place the camera almost anywhere we want, as long as the illusion of the layout is still maintained. So yeah, you get some different angles on Phoenix. You get some different angles on the witness. They can also do zooms, like they zoom in on the witness a couple times, and but there's still like the dismantling animation that I mentioned earlier for Ted. Like there's smears though in his animation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they do 2D animation techniques on these 3D models still, which is good for really helping sell that 2D feeling, for everything, because his arms like smear properly. They have like 2D graphics that are kind of overlaid or mixed in somehow to like make it look like they're moving extra fast as he kind of does this Looney Tunes disarm animation.
I'm still 2D Sprite fan, like to death. Like I'll never.
I low key like the 3D animations more because they feel, to me, the 3D animations make it feel like everyone's a puppet, like a Muppet, and I like that. I like this being
back to Muppet.
We're back to Muppet.
Bring back the Muppet,
dude. Where's fucking Punch and Bog? I need him back.
Oh man, goodness.
My fucking man. I'm gonna get a shirt that just says like Punch and Bog and like just a picture of him.
Yeah.
My favorite little Muppet criminal.
Yeah, so far, like visually, I'm loving it. This case obviously wasn't like super complicated.
No.
Although I did notice a hole in the story here.
Okay.
When Apollo is, now there may be an explanation for this, but to me it seemed extremely obvious. So Miss Woods gets accused of clobbering Apollo in the head with a rock. of course, because she's there.
Clobbering time.
Yeah.
Because
Just
they were in the
'cause.
same room, and then she's like, oh yeah, he was helping me look for my stuffed toy that had my medicine inside of it. Okay, whatever. And then the bailiff came and got me and said I had to come back to court, and I'm like, and they accuse her of hitting him in the head like before that. So I'm like, can we ask the bailiff if Apollo was still
Yeah,
Oh.
he's
He's
right
conscious.
here.
Yeah.
Why?
That's actually a really good fucking point. The bailiff would have.
This is so easy to solve, you guys.
No, the bailiff is a construct. He's not real. Okay, like the bailiff is.
He has lines.
No, the. No, think about it. Well, no, don't think about
No,
it.
I have.
He's real.
I did.
You
He
did.
didn't have a model, so he just throws that, his voice from off screen, basically.
Yeah.
But like, if he goes into the room and he says, "Okay, defendant, get back out here," and Apollo's still alive,
Killed.
that's not the word.
Uh,
Not unconscious. Let's go with that. Then
Conscious?
clearly she didn't do it because she leaves immediately.
The
Right.
timeline must have been like bailiff enters room and says, "Juniper Woods, you are summoned back to court." And then she says, "Okay," and the bailiff just turns his head and walks away before she leaves the room.
Right,
I
and then she follows him out
guess.
later, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it
assume
just
that's
doesn't make
kind of how.
sense.
No,
Yeah, he just informed her that she needed to return, and then she did return of her own volition after the bailiff left. Right?
Yeah.
He didn't bring her.
Although
She's
like,
she's supposedly on trial for murder. Like, you'd think somebody would be watching.
all right, so
Yeah.
this is a tutorial case. You're right. I now that you pointed that
That
out,
won't excuse it.
yeah, I know. Now that you pointed it out, I can't unthink about it. You know what I mean? Like it is in my
Yeah.
mind.
Everything else, perfectly fine. Tutorial case.
Maybe that's why Gaspin Payne's case was so fucking shitty. It's because even he was like, I don't even know what I'm
Winston Payne's brother, by the way.
Yeah.
Winston Payne's brother, Gaspin Payne, who has a toupee.
Mhm.
Of course.
Yeah.
A little bit shittier than Winston Payne, IMHO.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
He's-
I want Winston back.
I want Winston back. The real Winston.
Winston's a bastard, but like
He didn't.
he wouldn't intentionally make that little girl cry on stage, you know?
I literally the judge. Also, God bless the judge is back. I miss the judge so much. Welcome back, Grandpa Judge.
Mm-hmm.
He literally goes on to say like, Gaspin, I don't think highly of people who make little girls cry, and he goes, "Oh, my bad, Your Honor."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he does. He does.
I
He's like, oh man, oops.
oops.
I pissed the judge off.
Like, it's funny because like we like push question, we like have to press statements from Juniper Woods, and she gets stressed out by one, and the entire court turns on you like a pack of wolves. Like literally everyone goes, "Shut up, Phoenix! Don't make her cry." Yay, stupid idiot. Like,
Well,
Yeah,
maybe if she wasn't on trial for murder, she would
he wouldn't be crying.
even like Ted Tonate later is like, yeah, it was stupid that the police arrested that like innocent little girl, and I just had to make it work.
Honestly, I mean, we know what the true scenario. So like, the true series of events goes as such, which is Ted Tonate, detonate.
I know, it's so silly.
Fuck, Ted. All right, Ted. We're sticking with
Yeah.
Ted. Ted, bomb disarmer, has been fucking taking the bombs he disarms and selling it on the black market. Super illegal, by the way. Probably causes the death
Yeah.
of hundreds of people. But whatever.
Yeah, police corruption.
Police corruption.
Yeah.
Can't disarm. Also, the pun can disarm. Haha.
Mhm.
She caught on, and Ted's like, "Oh no, I'm about to get caught. I need to kill this fucking lady." Gets her in the head with the disarmed bomb. Puts her body in the bomb transporting unit, which is just a big trunk, and then
Yeah,
has to
it's like a big metal box.
yeah, and then has to hide the body during the trial. And then as he detonates the bomb, then he rearranges the scene to make it look like that Candace Arm died as a result of the explosion. Now here's the fucking thing that actually does get me, and I just thought about this just now. They say that Candace Arm died trying to evacuate people from the explosion, and I understand, evacuating people from the explosion, really high tense scenario. But no one actually fucking saw her during that, because she was dead already in the box.
Right.
What the didn't? How do we know?
People's memories are super suggestible, so Ted probably just said that, and people were like, "Oh yeah, that must have been what happened."
That must have been what happened. And then Apollo is investigating the scene again. Probably comes across the fucking box with a huge bloodstain in it. And then Ted's like, "Oh, he saw my trick, and no one will ever know. I'll beat him over the head and rearrange the scene so that it looks like Juniper Woods, because we arrested her because the original bomb was contained in a stuffed elephant, but after the explosion, the only thing that was left was a tail, and rhinos have a similar tail, and she just brought her rhino to fucking a court case, apparently."
Yep. I mean, it's got her medicine in it.
It's got her medicine
in it, baby.
Rhiny's her Pokemon.
Yeah.
Rhyhorn? Rhydon?
Rhydon.
Rhyperior?
No, it's Rhyhorn. Come on, you think that she got to Rhydon? Come on.
Wow.
She needs something that can use Surf.
Why does it have to use Surf? Oh, yeah. Can it use Surf?
Yep.
Damn.
Des is a Pokemon expert here.
I believe her. I have no
updated Pokemon report.
Updated Pokemon report. We're gonna play Detective Pikachu one day. So that's the true series of events that occurs, and Ted. We literally arrested this girl on the basis of we found a tail with her fingerprint on it, and that was it. What if
no other work was done?
No other work was done. The judge even goes on to say, "Gasp in pain. You've got to do some serious fucking investigating tomorrow, today." And Gasp.
Yeah, this is the first tutorial case that it's 2 days, technically.
Yeah.
Right?
And he does no investigating. He just bases his entire argument off of, a freak accident that happened.
Right.
Is Gasp in pain the worst prosecutor? My thesis.
He sucks.
He's worse than Winston. At least Winston, had more plausible cases. You know what I mean?
He was more logical.
Yeah.
An attempt was made.
Gaspin hates little girls and wants to see them all get arrested.
Add that to the fucking wiki, ladies
and
gentlemen.
So we dismantle the case using powers of no investigation, just bluffing and psychoanalysis of people's voice.
Yep. So yeah, and then we saved Juniper, and she's like, "Wow, thanks! I can't wait to tell Apollo that I have a crush on him." And but we don't get to see that scene of her visiting him in the hospital. Instead, we just get the aftermath of that, I guess, where all three attorneys are returning to the office, and Apollo's like, "I have to go take care of something on my own," and he walks out of the door.
Trucy is there.
Trucy is there. Yeah, we get one shot of Trucy.
1 second of Trucy.
Trucy fucking spotted. I miss her. My daughter.
Yep. And then, in good old Ace Attorney Investigations fashion, Athena goes, "And now I'm going to think back to the first time I met Apollo. And the next case will be before this case."
That's nice and predictable. I just hope they don't do a flashback within a flashback. That would be silly if anybody did that.
Do you remember how
that would be so silly if somebody did that?
Do you remember how fucked the timeline was for Investigation 1? It was genuinely fucked.
I was having a good time, but I was so confused.
I literally, it was case 3, then 2, then 1, then 4. Oh my god, fucking Christ, investigations. I honestly kind of a scar on the Ace Attorney series, if you think about it.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a scar, but it does get a little confusing to keep it all straight at times.
2 is a little bit long and case-wise for me, but I still had at least a moderately fun time.
Yeah, no, trust me, I love every Ace Attorney game so far. There's not a single game that I think is bad.
Now, I will say, this game, since
wait. Maybe don't tell them. I want to see what their opinions are at the end.
No, well, all I was going to say is how many cases there are here.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be
folks okay
this
with
one's
knowing
renowned
that?
as X.
No, I wasn't going to say reputation. I was just going to say how many cases.
I assume this one is the most hated one only because, I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
There's a new girl character.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
New girl?
None of that.
Woman spotted.
Yeah. White woman spotted. This is there are 5 cases in this game, and then there is 1 DLC case. We are going to play the DLC case at the end. I know some folks might be curious about us like inserting the DLC case into where it needs to be chronologically, but since the DLC case was released like after the fact, and that was like you could play it post game type thing. That is where we're going to play it, because I'm generally a proponent for playing things as for how they were released, right? So that you can understand how fans at the time might have reacted to it. So we're going to do it that way. Play the whole game and then play the DLC case, which is a full case. It's a full regular sized case. So we are getting 6 cases total out of this game.
Oh my goodness gracious.
We're getting a lot of mileage out of the 3DS.
Investigations team like their long games, so strap in.
Content.
I have been informed that there's something in this game that I might really like, and I don't know what it is yet.
I think I know what it is.
I think I know what it is.
We'll find out when we get there. Then
for me,
I
might have seen a screenshot of something that I really liked while innocently scrolling on co-host, and I immediately slammed my laptop closed.
Just shut your lid real hard.
Yeah, that's what I do when I see spoilers now. I just close my computer and walk away, and I don't know if it's the thing or not.
What happens when you open your computer back up and it's right there still?
I like close the window, or I'll come get Roxy to close the window for me.
You just let the battery run out so that it powers off entirely.
I just restart the computer manually.
Immediately hold the power button down and
yeah. Every time I see a spoiler, I just like pour a drink on my laptop, frying it instantly, and then I get a new one.
You gotta get a new laptop every time.
I spend $20,000 a month on laptops. Please, someone help me budget.
My family is starving.
My family is starving. I actually have the art book for this game on my shelf right now.
Ooh.
I got the art book from a friend. I haven't played the game. I just have it. So I guess it's gonna be exciting for me to like look through that after we're done with this game.
Yeah, we'll need to do another concept art stream soon here.
This is the first.
That sounds fun.
This is like the first mainline Ace Attorney game that is on the 3DS, and that was only available through the eShop, which, as of this recording, is unavailable. So the only way to like, if you want to watch us play, please come on down to the Yotsuben YouTube channel. They got friends playing it.
Or alternatively, it's really easy to hack your 3DS.
Now, I'm not going to go out here and say that you should download a ROM illegally and play your 3DS, but I am saying that if you find a ROM and you do have a 3DS that can somehow play it, do it.
Additionally, by the time that this podcast comes out, Capcom may have already announced a release date for the Apollo Justice trilogy, which was releasing early in 2024.
Oh yeah.
So, because their stream is happening soon for TGS, and they may announce the release date of that collection then. If you'd like to wait for the HD collection of everything, that may be happening early next year as well, and would give you a convenient way to play it on a modern system as well.
I forgot and jumped straight to piracy.
It'd be really fucked if they released it like same day announcement, because like. What do we do? We're not switching.
Yeah, they
consoles.
already said it was going to be 2024, but yeah, it would be very funny if they just surprise dropped it. Yeah.
I've already got shit on my Switch. I'm already playing F-099. Dating this fucking podcast.
Did we have any other last thoughts about this case before we wrap up then?
I'm excited to see Athena Sykes enter the like sidekick compendium that we've created so far for Phoenix, right?
Oh, sidekick rating.
The sidekick ratings, right? Because like top tier Maya, right after Maya is Pearl, of course. I personally
and here's the thing: she's not even necessarily just a sidekick though, because she's one of the 3 main attorneys.
Yeah,
I hope we get to actually play as her.
She's one of the Ace Attorneys.
Well, you did already a bit for this case, but yeah, there's kind of this like I don't know, like rotating cast now that we can pull from. Where you can have things mixed up and have different characters being lead characters for a case and other characters be their quote unquote assistant and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so Phoenix Wright gets his own little entry in the sidekick compendium. I think it's gonna be. I just thought about the fact that Mia had 2 sidekicks. One of them was her boss, which had a horrible fat guy trope, and then
Her boyfriend.
her boyfriend. I forget his actual name. Was it Diego? I think it was Diego.
Yes,
Yeah.
Diego Armando.
Diego Armando.
I was gonna say Diego Luna.
Diego Luna.
Yeah,
I
Diego
almost
Luna, yeah.
I almost said a different Diego as well. So
Oh, I love the idea that like when they're in the sidekick compendium too, they're also in the compendium, but only usable by Mia Fey. I'm imagining like the Shin Megami Tensei Demon Compendium in my mind, and there's just
Right.
different entries for like different sidekicks. Fucking Kay Faraday's there, Trucy's there,
Miss Trucy.
Emma Sky is
She's
there.
up there for me. She's probably my favorite.
Gumshoe's technically there because he's.
But I miss Gumshoe.
You said that as if you're a person who had like a drink in so long.
I miss him.
I missed my boy. Where's Gumshoe?
I feel like very joyful, definitely being back in like an actual Ace Attorney game. Like I'm excited about it.
Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright was fun, but I don't get to see my friends. I just saw a bunch of puppets. I feel like
And we did like the puppets.
I love the puppets, but like, come on. Oh, I forgot that Professor
Puppets
Layton and Luke Triton are part of
and
the
Fire Emblem characters.
I forgot that Professor Layton and Luke are part of the Sidekick Compendium now. That's really funny to think about, actually. It's just like 2 Muppets just being in there.
I love
Oh my
Luke.
God.
Yeah. Well, we'll see which characters get to show up, which returning characters appear in this game, which ones don't, and yeah, see how the rest of these cases shake up.
Mm-hmm.
We are. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna call it right now. If Miles Edgeworth does not show up in this game, I might actually fucking riot. Like he's literally the proto man of this fucking game series. It's weird that if he doesn't show up.
Mhm. All right. Well, we'll find out. We are going to be divvying this case. This game is long, right? And it's tough to divide it up. So we are going to be splitting the next case up in 2 halves. So keep that in mind. We're just going to split it right down the middle and do 2 halves. So you can follow the show on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod, on co-host /Ace Attorney, or our website, updatedautopsy.report, to stay up to date on everything we do. You can also watch, like we said, all of our Let's Plays of Dessy and I and Iro playing through the game at youtube.com/@Yotseben. You can follow me on pretty much all social media under the username Yotseben. Dessy, where can people find you?
Dessy on Blue Sky, I guess.
Okay. And Tiago?
I've got a link tree for Tiago S. Dutra. I also, through there, you can find all my various social medias.
Alrighty. And Rose?
You can find me at Rose Nonsense on Tumblr and sometimes co-host, where you could please buy my art.
My roses are...
We're bringing that back.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you will rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. And then, yes, next week we will jump into the first half of Dual Destinies Case 2, The Monstrous Turnabout. See you next time. Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
Tsuchinoko real for the next case, everybody.
Oh my
Wow.
god, yes, 100% yes.
Bye.
Bye.